+7. Feels colder than that. Shish kebabs. Let that burn off. Got my wall built. That's what I did all week. That's why there's no videos. All the old railway ties were rotted right out. And of all the railway ties I hauled off to the dump at 2 loads, I found one railway spike. Still got a pressure washer on. Just high enough for the dog not to jump out. But I've been working in here a little bit too. I finally got the other brake line. Just came in yesterday. And they sent it to me for free. They cut this one 1 inch too short. And it's supposed to be 19 inches, but I emailed the guy and I said, hey, make it 2 or 3 inches longer, like 22, 23 inches. Just so I'm not screwing around. And there it is there. Took me an hour to bleed those suckers. And they pumped up solid now. There's no flex in there at all. I had to start from here with just this hose on, and I stuck it in the .5 brake fluid and then pumped it till it started slushing some more. Held it up higher up here so it'd get a little oil into the piston. And once I did that, started to create some vacuum. I mean, these Harleys are hard to bleed, especially dual disc like this. I mean, I have a hell of a time. Every time I do them, I have a hell of a time. And I've got a pump, I've got everything. And but that's the way to do it. Kind of start up here, work your way down. If it was a single brake, it'd be a lot easier. And maybe I should have capped off one of them and just bled one first. But what I end up doing is you have this master cylinder cap off full of fluid. And what you do is you snap the brake lever, you snap it. Just snap it a whole bunch of times and then the bubbles will come up. You just keep snap. I must have snapped it hundreds of times. Bubbles, bubbles, and I'd crack it. Bubbles, bubbles, and I'd crack it. And finally I got this side to bleed up and then the other side. And now it's pumped up like it's right there. So I got that done. Brakes are done, tires are done. I'm still waiting for those clutch plates. They were in last week. The fiber plates, they sent me the steel plates by mistake. He said, keep them. Oh yeah, about those brake lines, let me go back to that for a minute. These guys in Toronto, they're really good. I just go through eBay to get them, but you can go directly to them and it's a little cheaper. It's probably 5 or 10% cheaper rather than go through eBay, but there's their number there. They make brake lines for any car, motorcycle, whatever you want. You just tell them the measurements, the fittings, and they have a chart there that you go by. And they'll ship it out to you. Usually they're pretty quick, but with this epidemic here, pandemic, it takes a little longer. I think they're working pretty short-staffed. This .5 is really expensive stuff, so I didn't want to waste too much bleeding it there either. Okay, there's something else I got done there too. I didn't get the Suzuki in to get the mid-pipe on because I worked on that two-tier deck outside, the two-tier wall there outside. But there is something else I did as well too. The Norton regulators, all my parts are in, and I paid the duty on them. They should be in tomorrow or Monday. Oh yeah, this is what I was going to say about this bike here. This bike runs good. I got the carb dialed right in. The idle mixture screw was turned into just slightly under 1 turn out. Should be 2 to 3 turns out. As soon as I dialed that out, it just runs beautiful now. But I kind of was worried about this bike because this bike is all stock. Still has the stock cylinder head bolt caps on it. And I had a feeling I was going to do this sooner or later on this bike. But as soon as I ran it for a while, starting to weep a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on this side in here, but one of the gaskets up in here is starting to leak a little bit. This side doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to do both. Yeah, you can see it's wet down here, a little bit wet. I'll take it out for a good ride first, and then I'm going to have to pull the tank off again, pull the cylinders up. Oh, I'm caught on that bike there. Pull the cylinders off, and yeah, you can see here how it's a little discolored here, and it's dripping right in this corner here. It's wet down here. Usually the base gaskets go. And I'm sure with only 47,000 kilometers, like that's only less than 30,000 miles on this bike. And those are the original caps. Most guys, once they pop them off, they never put them back on. So I'm sure this bike's never been apart. So I'm going to drop this right down. And I got a new gasket kit's ready to go in. I'll change the valve seals at the same time too, since this bike's 30 years old. 10, 20, 30 years old, yeah. And yeah. So that's what I got going on. I think you all saw that bike running. All these bikes run now. I got the new ignition system in this one, and I timed it with the light on it. And I don't know if you've watched my other videos, those ultra ignition systems, you set them up dead center, you know, and they should be pretty close to the final setting. Same when I did that one, it was almost bang on dead center of the adjustments. Actually, when I put the one on this bike, and I put it dead center, and I put the timing light on, it was bang on. 31, these ones are 31 degrees before it topped its center. But this one, I put it on, and I had to turn it to the max, counterclockwise, to almost to the max to get that thing timed right. And you know, there's one thing I didn't do is, you know, and I should double check everything on this bike, but the rotor, the little tin rotor thing with the 2 notches in it, I didn't pull it off. It was an original Ultima one. You can use the original Harley one too. And you know, I didn't pull it off and double check it, make sure the key wasn't sheared on it or it was bent or anything like that, because I've never seen one where it was that much out of timing. So I'm just wondering if maybe the previous guy didn't put that cup on right or didn't have it quite lined up with the notch. I don't know how you could screw that up though. Like, it's pretty hard to screw that up. So, well, it's water, because I washed everything off with water because I spilled a little bit of brake fluid on there when I was bleeding it. Yeah, so tomorrow's Sunday. Yeah, tomorrow's Sunday. So Monday, hopefully the rest of those parts are in. Get this bike back together. I actually plated this bike and insured this bike. So I'm going to ride this one for a while because I know I got to pull that one in and do the top end on it. So I'm going to switch insurance back over to that one. But this is going to be good to test drive this one and get it jetted. Dial the jetting right in. Oh, I also got a little carrier for the back. It was actually in Strathroy, Ontario. There's a motorcycle distributor there, motorcycle parts distributor, and they had that for like 31 bucks or something, like 35 bucks, $33. Original Harley ones are $300, $300. So that works for me. If I got to box something on there, I can stand a case of beer up this way. I can put it that way, stack them up. There you go. Yeah, I was trying to think if there was something else I was going to show you. So I got the bearing, blind hole bearing puller kit in that you can use for the camshaft gear and the Harley wheels. So when I get these bikes going, test drive them a little bit, I'll pull the wheels off and do those other bearings. These are blind hole pullers. You can see they all got a little ridge on them. You get in the hole, and when you tighten up the bolt, it spreads it, and then you slide it out with a slide hammer. You can also press them out with this thing too, in some cases. That goes there, that goes there. Got an extra one. Alrighty, that's it for now, I think. Wait till Monday, get the parts in. This is off a 15 horsepower Honda outboard, 2006 model, short shaft. It's a friend of mine, Lyle. He watches my channel once in a while. And he was starting it, and it would die out. Starting it, and it would run for like 30 seconds or so and die out. And you know, first thing to do is check the carburetor and fuel. You know, sounds like that. But we put it in a barrel, fired it up, and no water was coming out. The inspection water jet that should come out the top if your pump's working good. So we pulled it apart. He didn't winterize it last winter. What happens is a little bit of water gets stuck between the impellers, freezes and snaps them off, and that's what happened here. So that's what I'm working on right now. Waiting for him to get a new impeller, and the key was gone as well too. Probably just pumped it right straight through. But today my mail finally came right here. This one here is my blind hole bearing puller set. So I can do the Norton with that, the Harley pinion bearing, the wheel bearings, everything. So I got a mailbox in the States, and usually I just whip across the bridge and grab it, and they never ever charge me duty. I think only once in the last 3 or 4 years. And this time I can't get across the bridge because of the COVID-19. So I just called, I got a UPS box, Port Huron. I just called them, I said, put it all in one box. I'll give you a detailed printout of what everything is and ship it over to me. And I did that a couple weeks ago. There's over $400 in parts. And I think it cost $60 to send it over. Same way, there's only $150 in parts, $157. They charged me $60 to send it over. But this time when it went over, the UPS Canada called me up and says, oh, it's a $125 fee to deliver that. And I go, what? On top of that $60. And I said, no way, there's only $150 and stuff in there. What the hell? And they said, oh, it's a brokerage fee. I said, the brokerage is as much as the parts. He goes, well, 157 Canadian works out to 200 US, so they charge 50% brokerage fee on the goods. I said, no way. I said, let me speak to somebody. So he said he'll have somebody call me back. They never did. Nobody ever called me back. But the next day I got a voicemail from them, and I shouldn't have cut that too deep. That's that black stickers probably. I got a voicemail from them, and it said go to the ups.com website and sign in, and you just have to pay the taxes, which I knew I was going to probably have to pay $35 in taxes. So that was all right. So that was last week. So then they took their sweet ass time getting it to me. That's the problem. It took a week, almost a week. And it was in Canada the whole time. And you know, I can almost see the UPS store over the bridge in Sarnia. That's how close it was, but they ship it to anti-aging cream. True science. What the hell are they sending me? What is this? Anti-aging cream. Oh, that's my vitamin drink. Okay, good. I'll use that. What I really want is my clutch. Anti-aging cream. I'm really hoping for is one of these clutch. That's that little car stereo with the USB ports and Wi-Fi and everything. $16. Like, I don't even know how they can make it for that. Looks too small. Could either go in the motorhome or go in the FLH. Oh man, I hope my clutch is in one of these. So long. Some of the stuff's been sitting in my box for a month. Don't know what anything is. Oh, that's a pinion bearing driver for the Harleys, for the camshaft. You could just tap it in with the old one, but I thought if I'm going to do a few of them, I better get the tool. So that was like 22 bucks, I think. So that's good I got that, because I'm going to rebuild this other engine here pretty soon. After I build all the other ones. Oh, there's the start. Coil cover. So I put the stock coil back on that FXR. Boneyard Cycles. And I think I only paid like 20 bucks for this thing. This is, you can see it's factory original. Some guys on eBay are selling these for $120, $130. Most of them are 50, 60 bucks. This guy put new old stock on there, 20 bucks, 19.99, so I bought it. Just gotta look. I hope this is the clutch. I'm hoping. What the hell? Oh my god, if I didn't get that clutch, I'd be pissed. Oh yeah, this might be it. This is what they sent me the last time, same box. And it's a nice kit, eh? They put it in this nice box. And they sent me the 7 steel plates. It's supposed to be the fiber plates. Steel plates last forever. They last quite a while, a lot longer than the fiber plates. And, oh yeah, right on, there we go. And so they shipped me these free of charge. Free of charge, good deal. DP clutches, dpbrakes.com. But this isn't who I dealt with, though. I don't think. Shoot, I'll have to give these guys a shout out. And they give me 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. It's supposed to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Supposed to be 7. I'm gonna have to pick the best one out of the old ones to put it in here. I'm not waiting any longer. Even their ad says 7 fiber plates, because that's what they're supposed to be. Oh my God. They give me 7 steel plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fuck. There's a mic here. Glasses. I can't find my glasses the last week. I got a magnify glass here though. Time to clean my bench off. I got one arm. This will work. Just got to remember the number. I think when I see it, I'll remember. Check here. Well, I'll measure the old one, and it's just a little bit bigger. So maybe like 196 or something. So that is 50. 2 bars is 50. And then, fuck. Can't see. I cannot see in my phone. What the hell's going on here? I have to edit this video. .078. Yeah, so get up there, mother. So we got I need light. My bench is so messy right now. Okay, so this is okay, so each bar, each mark on this, what the hell, sticking in my pocket here? Oh, there's a magnet on my toolbox. I'm grabbing my pants. Each mark on my micrometer is 25 thou. So I've got 1, 2, 3 marks. That's 75 plus 22. So 97. And so decimal 097. And what did I say this one? I forgot. Oh my God, where is it? I just had it here. Decimal 078. So there, those are good. Now we'll check this old one again. I think this was just under. So this has got 1, 2, 3 marks at 75, and 1, 2, 3 marks and a bit. Yeah, this one's only showing 50. Oh no, it's showing I was looking at here. Yep, no, that's good. Anyways, we'll try putting that together. But there's supposed to be 7 of them. So these new ones are about 10 thou thicker, 10, 15 thou thicker in that range. All right, put that in there, there, there. See what's in this one. The body, oh, this is my regulator for the Norton. There's my regulator. That cheap little Chinese regulator I bought. It'll work on Hondas and Yamahas because I bought them before, but it won't work with this Lucas ignition system. So this is a 200 watt regulator, rectifier regulator, 3-phase. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay, that's it for me. another thing I forgot to mention, I got this about a month ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think. This fork brace, because these are the original 35mm forks. I think in 88 they went to 88 or 89 they went to 39mm. They're a little beefier, but by putting this fork brace in here, and this is a Harley Davidson one too. It says got a good deal on that. That really stiffens up the front end. Is really going to help the stability of this bike. Almost all motorcycles should have a fork brace on, especially that Yamaha Venture out there. I can grab the handlebars and shake it real quick, and the front wheel just will go like that. Like, that's not even safe. And if you're ever driving down the highway and you take your hands off the bars and the front end starts to go like that, well, that's because of all the play right in here. Okay, that's it for today. I got lots to do now. I'm gonna rebuild these steps first before I finish those bikes. They're pretty rotted out. That's the old steps there. So I want to get this done today. I got those cemented in last night, and I had one more of those timbers left over that I was going to send back, and I thought, oh, and I'll make it match and do the interlocking brick in it and finish that up. And then I'll work on those bikes. So that's going to be it for this video for today. And the next video will be getting those 3 bikes back together. And we're finally getting some warm weather here. Plus 12, I think it's supposed to go up to plus 15 or 16 today. And I think yesterday was plus 12 as well too. Okay, that's it. Got the steps done. Still need some wooden dowels to plug the holes. Right there, some wooden dowels. Still got to stain it all. Got that done today. Clutch parts are in. I'm just putting I just put the clutch plates back on. I'm debating to go back to the 7. I put the clutch together just the way they gave it to me. 7 steel plates, 6 fiber plates, and you know, that's what all the kits are. But this one had 7 fiber plates, and I do remember 30 some years ago that they came with 7, and they were a little skinnier. So maybe with the thicker fiber plates now, and even in the manual, see that manual goes to 1990, I think. Yeah, 1990, so obviously this manual was made after 1990, and they may have revised the clutch plates. Maybe it's just the first year, the shovel heads, and maybe the first ones had 7 in them, but I'm going to go with their 7 steel plates and 6 fiber plates by DP clutches, and I got it all assembled. I put it together on the, where's the light here? On the A position. The A is middle of the road, and C is the least amount of compression, and B is the most compression. So I put it on A, and I put my ruler across here, and it was dead flat, no play at all. So then I knew you want it to be bowed like this a little bit, and then you measure for free play at the end here, 10 thou. So then I wanted a less compression, so I put it to C, and I put that on there, and now you can see I got a little bit of rock in there. Before it was dead flat, I had no rock at all. You just set it right on top of that adjusting plate. You set it right on top of that adjusting plate, and I got a little rock in there now. I can just get a 10 thou. Well, I can easily get a 10 thou feeler gauge at the end there. So that's perfect. That's all set. That's ready to go. I think I adjusted that chain. That's all tight. I think I'm ready to put the primary on and oil her up, fire the bike up, and then I still have to jet it. the S&S carb kit came with like 6 mid-range jets and 6 main jets. I kind of set it a little richer than they suggest with the intake and the carburetor. But then I put that 2-in-1 header on, so I know it's going to suck more fuel. So I just made a little 1 jet size richer. And I got the timing all set up. So the timing's good. And yeah, so tomorrow I will put that cover on and oil it and fire this up. And then it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So to really jet it, I got to take it for a test drive. So I think I'm going to wrap up this video. And it's supposed to rain for the next 2 or 3 days. So the next video I will do with my helmet cam on, and we'll test drive it and see if we can see if I can and you can hear the difference as I change the jetting in it to get it dialed in. And even at idle here, there's a really good video on S&S, the S&S YouTube channel, and he's got a really good video, and he's actually doing a dyna. An Evolution dyno on it with the S&S carbon intake on it, and they got a dyno. They put it on a dynometer, and he shows how to jet it really well. So I'm gonna finish this video up, and then I'm going to do another video when I'm jetting this. But at least the parts are in, the clutch is in. I got these little. The little brake emblems were missing in here, the Harley ones. They're normally just aluminum with a black with a circle in here. Whoops, sorry, I got the camera going the wrong way. But these are kind of neat little ones. They're only a couple bucks. Put them in there, and they're plastic bubble ones too. So spike's just about done. Oh, I still got to weld the bracket on the exhaust too. Shit, I got to do that tomorrow too. Yeah, I gotta weld that back on. Okay, that's it. Oh.